Welcome to this explainer. Okay, let's dive right into a massive, profound philosophical clash between Eastern and Western views of humanity. We're going to explore how these deeply held, ancient ideas didn't just shape history, but literally built the very foundation of the modern world we're living in right now.
It's really one of the most fascinating questions we can ask, right? Why do the East and West view our place in the universe so differently? To answer that, we've got to trace these philosophies all the way back. We're going from their surprising shared origins straight through to the explosive modern collision that actually birthed the environmental crises we're facing today.
Here's our roadmap for this journey. 1. Shared roots of humanity. 2. Before the Great Exchange. 3. The East-West encounter. 4. Diverging views on heaven. 5. The modern polarization. And finally, 6. Reimagining our future. Let's get into it.
Section 1. Shared Roots of Humanity. A surprising common ancestry.
So, way back before any major ideological splits happened, early societies across the entire Indo-European region actually shared a foundational blueprint. It's called trig functionalism. Basically, society was chopped up into three distinct roles. You had the religious class, like the Brahmin, the warrior class, like the Kshatriya, and a production class, like the Vaishya and Shudra.
And you know what's wild? You can actually find evidence of this shared ancient root system hiding in plain sight in our oldest stories. For example, the 28 heavens in Buddhism completely mirror the 36 heavens in Taoism, and they even tie in to the epic Greco-Roman tales of the Trojan War. They are all drawing from the exact same fundamental, ancient origin.
But over time, they branched off into these isolated bubbles. The West built this vertical temporal structure. Think of it kind of like a top-down boss actively micromanaging human affairs. Meanwhile, the East emphasized a horizontal spatial arrangement, so more like an interconnected web where a hidden creator shapes existence from behind the scenes.
Which brings us to Section 2, Before the Great Exchange, Flaws and Isolation.
Operating almost like mirror images of each other's extremes, both of these systems eventually hit major roadblocks. The Western monotheistic view ended up reducing humans to mere sinners standing before a single God, where repentance and salvation were basically your only options. On the flip side, the Eastern system of correlational thinking, where everything in the cosmos is deeply linked, that eventually hardened into a massive, rigid social hierarchy separating nobles and commoners. Both philosophies just got totally trapped by their own limitations.
Section 3. The East-West Encounter. Worlds collide.
Everything changed dramatically when these worlds finally collided. The catalyst here was early exchange. Figures like Matteo Ricci discovered something that shocked them. An ethical society could actually exist in the East without a transcendent God. This totally shifted Western perspectives toward a more immanent orientation, meaning they started finding value in the physical world, right here and now. But, unfortunately, this curiosity darkened during the era of imperialism, driving the formation of a modern world built almost entirely on self-serving material expansion.
So the crucial takeaway here is that during this era, material wealth effectively replaced God in the West. Heaven became this distant, abstract concept, and because of that shift, the West began to view the physical earth, and by extension the East, as mere objects meant entirely for domination and conquest.
Section 4. Diverging Views on Heaven. How we relate to the divine.
When you look at these two views side by side, the contrast is just staggering. In the West, you have a transcendent, absolute God demanding obedience within a really strict authoritarian structure. The East, however, sought a harmonious relationship with an immanent heaven, guided by destiny, virtue, and natural laws.
And this brings us to a really fascinating concept called Deus absconditus. Unlike a Western God who intervenes directly and arbitrarily, the Eastern creator was a hidden God. They quietly presided over the universe through strict natural laws, putting a massive emphasis on cosmic coexistence.
Even their supernatural systems clashed completely. The West envisioned angels acting mostly as messengers on special commands, without their own unique domains. But the East, they utilized this complex divine name system. Think of it kind of like specific deities or spirits specifically managing different departments of nature.
Section 5. The Modern Polarization. The Breakdown of Harmony.
Now, in the modern world, things began to unravel. In the East, that deeply ingrained yin-yang worldview, the very thing that kept everything interconnected, began to fracture. This led to a really harsh separation of the three worlds: heaven,
Earth and humanity. And as those essential connections broke apart, it severely weakened their entire divine order system.
Meanwhile, in the West, as the idea of God was replaced by pure materialism, nature totally lost its spiritual value. The tragic result of this? The Earth, and eventually humans themselves, were reduced to simple cogs in a machine, just objects for manipulation and domination.
This mutual polarization broke the ancient bridge between the heavenly and human worlds. That deep spiritual connection to the Earth literally ceased, accelerating the chaos and the intense disconnection we feel in our universe today.
Section 6. Reimagining our future. The environmental cost.
Now you might be wondering, why does all this ancient philosophy actually matter to us today? Well, it matters because this exact collision, the Western mindset of conquering the Earth violently slamming into the Eastern mindset of harmony, is the literal origin point of our modern environmental crises. We are living out the direct consequences of this exact philosophical clash right now.
The source analysis makes a really strong argument here. To fix our relationship with the Earth, we have to acknowledge we're in a massive transitional phase. We absolutely must undergo a radical rearrangement of what we consider sacred and what we consider secular in our modern lives.
Ultimately, this conflict and polarization of Eastern and Western views isn't just dusty ancient history. It had a massive impact on the formation of modernity itself. It's the very fabric of our modern global identity.
So we leave you with this existential question. Can we finally merge these fractured ancient worldviews to save our planet? Or are we forever doomed to repeat a philosophical war that ultimately destroys the Earth? Thanks for exploring this with us, and we hope this explainer helps you see the world just a little bit differently.